Hey there, and welcome to College is Fine, Everything's Fine, the podcast that helps you keep your head above campus chaos without losing your sense of self or your sense of humor. I'm Dr. Sarah Olivo.
And I'm Dr. Liz Seidler. We're clinical psychologists who help students navigate everything from friendship drama and academic pressure to figuring out who they are when nobody and everybody is watching.
We take real stories from college life and turn them into simple, science-backed tips you can actually use. No fluff, just what works.
Think of it as your mental health toolkit for thriving, not just surviving college life. All right, Sarah, you ready?
Yep, I'm ready. Let's get into it.
Okay, creating healthy relationships. So we've already talked a lot about relationships. I think there's like two things that I would like to talk to about this. So Sarah and I talk about this concept of a friendship matrix, and oftentimes what I'll hear from college students is that they have either have a friend group and they're like not very happy with their friend group, and usually it's because there's something in this matrix that's kind of missing, right? They have takers, the friends that are constantly asking, I'll hear about this, like, my mom's going to be so mad at me, like, I paid for dinner again last night for everyone, right? Like, they have the friends that are just like taking from them, asking of things, right? Not really giving anything to the relationship. Or they have the friends that are really fun, but they don't feel really emotionally connected to them. They're like, ugh, I miss my home friends. Like, I just feel like if I'm having a bad day, I can't really talk to them about that. What we tend to see is that people just, out of fear, hold on to the friends that they kind of make initially, right? And really struggle with looking for people within this matrix that might fit a little bit more of the areas that are missing, and that it's okay to have some friends that are fun to go out with, right? But you might need to work harder on finding, let's say, what we would call an anchor friend, somebody that's really reliable and dependable and that would be there for you when you're having a hard time or a family member's ill or something like that. And then in the same vein, I know a lot of people that like have some of those friends, but maybe they're like the quiet, dependable friends, but they don't have any friends till they like want to go out, and maybe sometimes they want to go out and just have like an adventure friend, a friend that they just want to hang out with. So what I think is important is to evaluate your friendships. Somebody had said something to me that not editing or adding to your friendships is a surefire way to be unhappy in your relationships, and that we should always, throughout our life, be on this process of editing, evaluating what are our friendships kind of doing for us, and adding or taking away from our friendship circle. I think we've spoken a little bit about some of the social stuff. I wanted to talk really quickly about that. There are some relationships that are not just peers in college. And I think this is, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about this, a neglected area. And I see this a lot with seniors that I work with, that they've gone 4 years and they don't have a single relationship with a professor or a mentor or someone on campus. In high school, that you got your college counselor and you have this familiar face with someone, but depending on your university and how large it is, you can be pretty invisible on a college campus for a period of time. And for some reason, and as someone who's taught before, professors are really scary for a lot of students. And they're not used to, I think, like going to office hours, reaching out for help, sending emails. Any thoughts about navigating relationships that are not just your peer relationships on campus?
I mean, yeah, so I think I got two examples specifically. One is more, I guess, professional, and one's more friendly, personal. I've got one professor who, because obviously now you have the brand new professors are all of the later millennial generation. So I have a professor who I had this year who has, a Halo, a big video game. He's got a Halo helmet in his office, and we talk about that stuff. And so even when you don't have, I guess, peer like connection like at that moment, it is nice to have that, especially because they can then also help with your schoolwork. And then having a professional connection, a professor who I'm going to be doing my master's thesis research with, that also helps in terms of just navigating what like your next steps, your future, and that I think they both kind of act almost as anchors in their own right to help ease a lot of that underlying anxiety?
I would say one of my biggest regrets when it comes to things that I didn't take advantage of while I was at university is definitely not going to office hours enough for professors. Something about it just always kind of scared me. Not even that it was scary to talk to professors, just that I had no idea what I was going to say going into it. And I kind of felt like, well, if I have no real questions, like why should I go and talk to my professors and take up their time? So I would say my biggest piece of advice is, even if you don't have something that you're struggling with, definitely go to office hours at least once. And professors are usually more than happy to talk to you. Regardless, and it can be good to build up that rapport. And the times that I did ask for help or reached out, they were more than receptive. So really the help is there if you ask for it. Just getting over that hurdle of figuring out how to ask can be a little tough. So when I did do it, what helped me the most was kind of coming in with a plan of what I was going to say. But yeah, I wish I had taken more advantage of that resource.
Yeah, I feel like in a professional relationship, it's a lot harder, especially it really depends on the professor. I mean, you can go to class and, your professor seems awesome. They seem fun. Like I had a statistics teacher this year and he was awesome. Funny guy. The class ended up only being guys. It was like 25 of us. He loved the joke and it was a great time. But then there's classes where the teacher is really difficult. Maybe the homework's hard, the tests are hard, and it makes it harder. It's kind of like a barrier because you don't want to make a relationship with them if they're already making your life hard enough. You're like, hey, I don't want to go see you if I already don't like going to your class. So I feel like it's really dependent on who the professor is, but also that they leave an impact on you. This year I had to apply for study abroad for next year. And I had to get 2 teacher recommendations. And this is where I kind of thought about this, like, hey, what 2 teachers can I even ask?
Right.
Which ones would even accept it or, want to help me out? And so just thinking back to it, my accounting teacher freshman year, I had him for both semesters. He overlapped our class into the second part of it. So we've same people and everything. And he was awesome. I went to his office hours, really nice guy. And so I reached out to him, and I said, hey, I would love if you would fill this out for me. And they sent him an email link. He never responded to me, but he still did it. So I feel like he felt like our relationship was good enough and he knew me as a person that he could do that. So yeah, I feel like it really just depends on, kind of like how they perceive themselves to you. And I would say going to office hours, even there's tutors at the school who are students, both will help you with your academics. And if you're confused, don't hesitate to ask a question, email them. They want to help you no matter what. Even if you don't like them, they'll still help you.
They're either eager to help.
I know.
It's part of their job.
I know. It is reinforcing. And I always say, there's nothing worse than a professor who sits in their office hours and nobody comes.
By the way, does anyone listen to outros? Should we do one anyway?
Thanks for tuning in to College is Fine, Everything's Fine. We hope you're walking away with skills you can use right now, whether you're just beginning to think about college, starting your first semester, or counting down to graduation.
If you like today's episode, you know what to do. Subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend or your roommate or your parents or that random person you keep seeing on the quad. Please don't be shy.
Want more tools, tip sheets, or courses? Head to collegeisfinepodcast.com or follow us on Instagram and TikTok at College is Fine Podcast.
We'll catch you next time with more real talk, more skills, and more of what actually works on campus. Until then, remember that we are rooting for you.